Hi, this is Annie, of course, because if you know me, you know who I am. But anyway, I just had a few things to get off my chest because the past couple of weeks, things have transpired that have really hurt me. My good friend at work, she died from cancer. She only lived a year or so after her diagnosis. And the other thing is, my husband, and I use that word loosely, has been scheming and planning to leave. And he did that on Monday with the help of his cousins, 2 brothers that are married. And he said nothing to me. Didn't tell me anything, like a immature coward. But the thing that hurts me the most is not that he's gone, but through all the mess that he's put me through, all the things that he said to me that were derogatory, demeaning, just verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. I still prayed and I still trusted God to heal our marriage, because I truly loved him unconditionally, and I kept telling him that through all of that. He guys, you just wouldn't believe some of the things that he said and done. He's always badmouthed me to certain people. I guess people that he could get in his corner, maybe to believe him or whatever. I just really don't know, don't understand why. Because it's not like he's perfect or the greatest angel in any aspect of the word. Not in any shape, form, or fashion. But I still loved him. So he decides to abandon me. And the signs, the little signs, I kind of ignored them, but I'm not surprised. Even when I wanted to leave, I still wanted to try to work things out with him. I honestly don't think he just left on his own, because he's never lived by himself. He's either lived with someone, like him and his cousins, or cousin, his ex-wife and family, or some woman that he met through work or whatever. He's always lived with somebody else, never owned any property. And so I believe that when he left here, he left to be with some other woman. And I believe he either went back to his ex in Columbus or to another woman that he's been talking to in Columbus. And there's one other female that I used to work with. He always complained or tried to criticize me about being a wife, this, that, and other, like cooking for him and all of this stuff. It's like nothing was ever right. When I cooked, you talked about it. When I didn't, you have a whole lot to say. And I tried many, many times to fulfill my role, but just at a certain point, you just get tired of it. And then after all of the things that he expected me to do or fulfill as a wife, after I trusted him through all of this stuff, I truly did trust him. Come to find out, he's lying to me. He's calling these women sitting around all day with idle hands, calling these women, having conversations with them and different stuff. And here I am, still true and honest. And here again, the same thing that happened with my ex-husband happened with him. I'm at work. I call. He got his people to help him moving furniture out. Call himself move things out that he might, okay, the things that he had before we got married, like the stereo equipment, I could care less. But like the bedroom set that we slept in, that was community property. And then if he wanted to take it like that, he never bought a sheet, a towel, pillows, pillowcases. He took the bed and the bed spreads, all of that. He took that too. And he didn't pay for that. But he took his big TV he had on the wall downstairs. I mean, he had walked around here for months with headphones in his ears, sitting on his computer, and basically taking control of the TV downstairs. I could never have a conversation with him, ask a question, and he answered me. And I'm trying to talk, but you got headphones in your ears. We riding, you no longer want to hold a conversation. Just things like that. My car once, before I get to the car thing, he would always say, oh, you don't pay your bills. And, but he helped create those bills. And my husband didn't take our funds and do like we started out, paying the bills and making sure everything was squared away. He stopped doing that. And by him not stopping doing that, he promised things that never came to fruition, such as he said, when I get 100% VA, I'm going to buy you a car. Any car you want. That never happened. When I did get a car that I wanted, because he was, the day that we went to get it, he was angry, I guess, because I'm telling him this is what I want. He's trying to make me go someplace else, because in the getting of my car, I think he wanted to try to get a truck also, and but that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to the Chevrolet dealership. I went where I wanted to go. So, nonetheless, my car got repossessed because I didn't have any cooperation from my husband. He lied to me on a particular day. We went to Cochran because he would run up and down the road if his kids call and do all kinds of anything for him. But I called him to come get my car when my battery died, because I couldn't get in it. It was keyless entry. And he just standing there. I mean, he'd been gone all day, riding around, he said. Said he was at the mall. I just figured things just got to the point where he was emboldened to hang out or do whatever he wanted to do when it came to disrespecting me, disrespecting our marriage, dishonoring God, really, and being with these other people. Now, he could say what he wanted to. I knew him And I always knew when something was off because the way that he interacted with me told me that he was talking or speaking with the wrong people. And I always felt it when something was off. And he would always lie, hey, nothing or whatever. He always had been jealous of my relationship I had with my kids because, and especially my youngest daughter. I'm trying to get medical issues taken care of with my daughter, and he's constantly being uncooperative. But I just think it was all part of a plan that he had to just leave. But I always told him, if you didn't want to be with me, you don't want to be with me, let's sit down as grown adults and let's discuss it and make it happen. Leave or depart, separate amicably. But I did tell him one thing that would not happen is if we ever separated, got divorced, there would be no reason for me to ever call him or contact him or ask him to fix or help me with anything, because he didn't do it when he had opportunity, when he was supposed to be there for me. Never. So here I am, feeling so busted and disgusted. I'm just hurt. I can't even be angry. I'm just really hurt. That he would do that. He had audacity to tell me one day that I knew I was going to marry you when I first saw you. But if that was the case, why was he always flip-flopping between me and his ex, Barbara, in Columbus? That's probably where he went back to now, because every time something happened, he ran back to her. She took him back like an idiot. But the difference between his relationship with Barbara and his relationship with me, we were lawfully married. And he hasn't paid the rent this month. He didn't pay the rent. And a couple of months ago, he didn't pay the rent. He took the money and tried to, he put money down on a truck, a new truck, because his truck that he has now kept tearing up when he fully possessed the ability or the capabilities of fixing it himself. And every time he would do something else, waste money, renting a vehicle, or when he tried to go buy a new truck, he had to take the truck back after a week or two because they couldn't get it financed because he's currently under bankruptcy. And so after he took it back, then he did what he should have done from the beginning, was buy the parts and fix it himself. I tried. I wanted to. And a piece of me still wants to. Be with him because I love him, but I can't. I can't risk my sanity or my dignity being with him. And I'm really disappointed in his cousins, because one of them said, I don't know nothing about that. You know, I'm trying to say some stuff to him, and he was like, well, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about anything like that. Of course not. Because he's the biggest fake, phony I ever been around. Because people wear masks. They only show you what they want you to see. And I've always just tried to be honest. And so whenever I was in the situation, I say something, he didn't like it because he feels like it exposing things. He get upset. But he's always critical of me, or saying I can't handle money. All the things that all the faults that he projected on me were the very same things that he did or was doing, except for I didn't have a relationship with an ex or talking to other men because I respected the fact that I was married. So he talked about my family, members of my family, different things. I mean, things that he found out that I told him about me. That happened before I ever knew him. He threw that stuff back up in my face to try to break me, to try to hurt me. Basically trying to kill my spirit. Just kill me. Basically, that's what I call it. My sister and my kids never wanted me to be with him. They said he wasn't good enough for me. But you know, you have to let people make their own decisions and mistakes. And so here I am now, having to talk, needing to talk, wanting to talk, to tell my side of the story. Because he's always said or told stuff that I did or made it be like my fault. It's difficult for me right now, but I still trust God. I'm hurt, I'm devastated in the sense of when you put yourself out there and be vulnerable, how people can just mistreat you. And I mean, it even got to the point where this man walked around the house, or sit at the house, not take a bath, get into bed, go to sleep, and it's like he get in the bed, and I would always joke that he's almost to fall off the bed because he's trying to keep me from touching him or whatever the case may be. But I just figured that was him. The way he was acting and not wanting to touch me because he may have been touching somebody else and lying about it, like he lied to me in the past. And the sad part about any situation, all the relationships, things he's been in, what's the common denominator? It's him. You can blame other people all you want. And when it comes to my youngest daughter, he would get on the phone because, you know, she lived with us, and he'd get on the phone, talk to her dad, because he would dwell on, pick about things that were not important to the sense. And I'm telling him, I have a therapist that I go to because I have PTSD, and I'm telling him, relaying to him what she said about the situation, and he's just ignoring it. And then the last episode, I'm telling him what the person said, the therapist said that's all. The last time something happened, he's still being uncooperative, just not caring. about my daughter. He talked junk to me, but wouldn't say anything to her because he knew she was not going to just sit there and let him be disrespectful. So, on Friday, April the 2nd, this man started in on my daughter with all his stuff he's saying you got to get out, and actually gets in her face. He says some other stuff, get in her face, really provoking incident. And so she leave out the room after she got really upset. And she hitting the wall. She put a hole in the wall because she's just that mad. She said, I'm hitting the wall so I don't hit anybody else. And so, because we were getting ready to take her to work, he comes, he follows her, I guess, out of the room, around the living room, and I'm still in there trying to get dressed. Next thing I hear is something like a struggle. I come outside, this man has his hands around my daughter's neck, choking her. Actually choking her. But there and still, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt when I should just call the police. Let it been over then. But, I just don't, I want to keep going through this. I guess I keep attracting these broken men because I'm broken. I love on people and really love to love them. And this time, once again, I get hurt. Because how would a man that's married to a woman, why would you expose her to the world? This your wife. You're supposed to cover. And he just uncovered me. And I kept telling him, I said, you uncovered me. I said, why are you talking to my daughter's father? I said, he's not your friend. He's not my friend. And her stepmom, she's not my friend either in that sense where you need to be talking about, criticizing me or talking to me about stuff. And then when you argue with me about something, you always trying to compare the two of us. Just silly stuff. Or telling me what somebody else said. Well, such and such said, yeah, they told me about you. And I'm trying to get this man to understand those people don't matter. They're not in this. They're not a part of this. But you're making them and you're talking to them about stuff. You just sitting out of business just talking about me. But I just thought I would record this and just let whoever cares to watch it let you know that no matter what Willard Cumbie Jr. says or tells you about the situation, he was a coward and a jerk. And the woman or women or whoever, wherever he is now, I have no idea where he is. None of that. Which doesn't make any sense. Because I don't want anything from him. I just want my peace. He did leave with bills thinking that he don't have to pay him, but I don't want to know what he's thinking, but he abandoned me, he abandoned our marriage. And beware the next person or whoever he's with now, beware. Got the same thing, the same way he treated me, he treated the last one. But I'm never afraid to love. But I just need to remember one thing: when people